Hello everyone, Onlydraven here again, and thank you so much for tuning in this week. This week's video, I'm going to do my best to try to keep it short. I have a couple product reviews I'm going to do, one food, one cooking machine, I guess. I got some stuff for Christmas that I was going to talk to you guys about. And then we'll just do our basic weekly check-in, as well as kind of touch on the results of my last doctor's visit. So we'll get to that here in a moment. Thank you everyone who has been watching, joining, and subscribing. I have had an incredible couple weeks for new people following along. So thank you everyone who's just recently joined on and everyone who's stayed with me here since the beginning. I appreciate all of your support, the comments, and all of the feedback I've been getting. So thank you so much. Also, thank you everybody who's been going over to my new second channel, which is a gaming-based channel. I appreciate everybody who's been going there and showing me support on that channel as well. So thank you again for tuning in. On my website, which you may know, I put it down here, www.onlydraven.com. I've changed a couple things around a little bit. On the first page, I've added a bariatric product of the month. It's going to be different things that I find online that are good deals, such as cookbooks, bariatric themed cookbooks, of course, maybe different things like scales, cooking machines, stuff that works well for bariatric patients, different food products, or even websites that I find, just to kind of show you some of the stuff and give you quick access to the different links and stuff that I've found. So definitely feel free to check that out. It's going to be on the very first page, as well as I'm going to have some new progress photos up here in the next day or so. Actually, I should have those posted up later today. If you see this video, be sure to check that out as well, this month's progress photo. But other than that, we're going to go ahead and jump right into our weekly check-in and see how things went this week. So in this week's weekly check-in, talk about how my doctor's visit went. I got the results back from the lab test they did last time I was there, as well as talk about just the week in general, a couple other things. So we'll start off with standard big news. I had a good week, as I usually do. I lost another 2 pounds this week. That puts me down 212 total. I am currently weighing 219. So again, if you check the math there, you'll see that I'm just a few pounds away from being half the size I was when I started. And that's my next milestone. I try to always have some type of milestone. You know, at first it was get under 400 pounds, under 350, under 300. Then it was get to 274, which is the smallest I had been since high school. Then, of course, 250. Then it was getting to 231, which was meant I'd lost 200 pounds total. So this next one is getting to the halfway mark, which should be right at 215 or 216, depending on how you want to look at it. I'm just going to say 216. So I'm 3 pounds away from being half the size I was when I started, just a smidge over a year ago when I started the pre-op diet. After that, I'll be 19 pounds away from 200, which is, of course, the next one. I'm sorry, I'll be 16 pounds at that point, but I'm 19 pounds now from being at 200, so I'm less than 20 pounds away, which is overwhelmingly doable in a short period of time at the rate I'm going. You know, continuing to lose an average of 2 pounds a week minimum, which seems to be about my standard at this point. I've had a couple weeks bigger, a couple weeks smaller, but averaging I'm at about 2 pounds a week. So that puts me in about, what, we're looking at 8 to 10 weeks there based on it. So pretty excited to hit that, to get under the 200 mark, being that close to end weight. But overall, been feeling really good this week. Haven't had any illnesses. Christmas week went on, so I'm definitely going to touch on that, because Christmas can be a hard time for a lot of folks just in general. And if you are on a diet or trying to lose weight or on some type of exercise program or bariatric patient, it can be an extra struggle because you're so limited, and yet there's so many temptations around you. Christmas treats, snacks and goodies, Christmas dinners and all that kind of stuff. So I had a pretty traditional, at least for our family, Christmas. I woke up Christmas morning and I cooked a Christmas dinner for my family. I cooked a turkey, and for them I made mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, made them some croissants, some bread rolls and such. They didn't really want any stuffing. I offered, but they didn't want it. Odd. But I made that for them. I ate the turkey, and I had mashed cauliflower, which I'm going to talk about in the next segment. That's going to be the food product review. I mentioned it a little bit last week, but I have some more. I have one to kind of talk about in specific with you this week. But that's what I had for basically our Christmas lunch. It was just turkey and mashed cauliflower, and it was great. You know, I got plenty of filling, not high in carbs, not high in fat, very low or very high in protein. So that was a good meal. And then for dinner, we went over to my in-laws' families, which is where we normally spend Christmas evening, and they don't do a traditional Christmas dinner because they have such a huge Thanksgiving. Like, it's tons of people, all the turkeys and the ham and all that kind of stuff. So a month later, they usually do something a little different. This year they did spaghetti, which is great. I enjoy spaghetti. I unfortunately cannot have spaghetti. I mean, some of the sauce I probably could have had, but I can't eat any of the noodles and such. So knowing this going in, I took a turkey sandwich. I had turkey left over from our Christmas lunch. I had my high-protein, low-carb bread that I've used, I've mentioned in the past, and I made just a turkey sandwich. And they still had a couple of things. I had a little bit of salad there. They had a broccoli casserole. I spoke to the people that made it, and had a little bit of breadcrumbs in it, but overall it was very within my range. So overall, I had that and my sandwich, and I was full, and I enjoyed it. The turkey was just as good the second time. I love turkey, one of my favorite meats. So turkey as turkey. I'm not a big fan of turkey pretending to be other things. I don't really like turkey bacon. Turkey sausage can be okay. I don't like turkey bologna. I don't like turkey hot dogs. I just want turkey as turkey. Get a turkey, cook it, cut it off, give me some turkey. That's how I like my turkey. I don't like turkey in food costumes. That's not how I enjoy my turkey. But traditional turkey all day long. So turkey sandwiches was kind of my lunch for most of the week, to be honest. I had quite a bit of leftovers, which was really nice to have that. In fact, I may do that more often. It may not just be on the holidays that I cook a turkey or a chicken at this point, because it was really nice having like such a tasty basic protein source to have multiple days in a row. So I will talk about the cheat. So the cheat is not something we've had a conversation of, for me personally, because in the entire year that I've been doing this, I have not cheated on my diet. Not once. Halloween, I did not have a single piece of candy. I had bowls of candy sitting in this house ready to go for weeks before Halloween. And after Halloween, I had a huge bag of candy left over, which I took to work and gave to my coworkers. I did not have a single piece of candy on Halloween. I stay within the diet all the time. I adhere to it strictly, which is why I contribute to what I feel the incredible success that I've had through this process. Is I always use the strictest interpretation of the guidelines or rules that I am given. But on Christmas, for the very first time in a year, I had a little bit of a cheat. And it wasn't horrendous. I didn't destroy myself, but I did step out. So I'm going to talk about that because, you know, from time to time, these things will happen. You're going to be in a situation, maybe you have to. Maybe that's all there is to eat and you have to have something. I mean, these situations come up. It's just preparing for them, being aware, and not letting them taking over. You know, like a drug addict, having a taste could put you right back on that path again. So I've got to be real careful with that stuff. But my aunt-in-law made a goodie basket of a bunch of treats like Chex Mix and hot cocoa powder and stuff, and all a bunch of stuff in there. But in there was a small bag with 3 or 4 pieces of what could almost be called, it's basically a chocolate fudge with some marshmallows in it. They were very small pieces, and there were probably just 4 or 5 little pieces in there. And I really enjoyed that. I'd had it a year or 2 ago before I'd started the diet, before I started this whole process, and I really enjoyed it. And I figured, what the hell? I'm gonna have some, and I ate all 5 pieces. I ate them Christmas evening after we returned home. Before I went to bed, I came home and had some time to play around on the computer before I had to crash out. And so while I was sitting there, I ate the little bag of fudge. It was very tasty. I enjoyed it. It was really good. It did not bother my stomach at all. I did not have the nutritional information for that. I didn't ask because, I mean, right off the bat, I knew it was going to take me over. So that was the first time I've probably knowingly exceeded my fat and probably carbs too. I'm assuming there's carbs in the stuff that I said. I'll have to look that up. I'm not sure. But I stepped outside of my kind of wheelhouse there and tried something different. And so it was good, and I still had a good week. That one taste did not derail me. There was plenty of other opportunities to have things. Pecan pie at there, which is my favorite kind of pie. Then there was lots of things at work, donuts and things that I could eat. I avoided all that. I did not let one slip lead me down the landslide into oblivion there. So, but I thought I'd mention that. Ooh, it's loud there. I thought I'd mention that I did step out and have my first, and could be last, little cheat there. Because again, I'm right back on it. I'm trying to be as successful as possible. And now I know that when I reach my goal weight to slow down and stop the weight loss, there's a chance that I'll have to add more fat and things in, which may give me a little more leeway to eat things like that on occasion. Maybe even add in a snack a day or something in order to meet the new goals. But at this point, until I'm told otherwise by my nutritionist, I'm on target. But it was a nice little treat to have on Christmas, a little present to myself, and that was as far as it went. So the only other thing I'm going to mention is, as I mentioned before, I had some blood taken 6 months after my surgery, and they thought I was borderline with a thyroid issue. My primary care got that information and said we were going to give it a few months until we tested it again. So I had my blood drawn again a couple weeks ago. They tested it. I'm happy to say it came back perfectly fine. No issues there. Thyroid stuff was all on par, so it may have just been where I was still just getting, I don't even think I was into the full phase 4 of the diet yet. I think I was still in phase 3, which was just the softer stuff, post puree, but softer before you get into the beef. So that may have just been was a little bit out of whack as I was still adjusting post surgery. But it was nice to hear that I did not have that issue and that I do not have to jump on yet another medication. So other than that, overall it was a very good week. Clear sailing. New Year's is over this next week, so this will be my last video posted in 2017. So thank you everyone who's been watching all year. I started this in March before my surgery, so I mean we're looking on 8 months, I want to say at this point. My math is not strong. 8-10 months. And I want to tell you how much I appreciate everyone for supporting me in this and asking questions and giving me your feedback as well, just on how well you're doing. It's great that we can kind of go through this together, and I definitely appreciate you being there with me for the whole process. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and step into our final segment, which is just a bit of a product review. Okay, so in this week's product review, I'm going to talk first of all about a food product, and then kind of show a couple Christmas presents that I'll be doing a little more in-depth review on later, but that are really going to be awesome for bariatric cooking. I'm excited to get both of them. So we're going to start off with some mashed cauliflower. Over the past couple weeks, I've been talking about a brand of zucchini lentil pasta that I found, a microwavable pasta that comes in different sauces and flavors, which is really, really good in low carbs, manageable fats, and an adequate amount of protein. So a really good side dish to add in for bariatric patients, and is by a company named Bird's Eye. Bird's Eye also makes a mashed cauliflower, and I've had mashed cauliflower from several different companies at this point. I'm going to be honest, this one is my favorite one. A lot of the mashed cauliflower that I find, the pre-made stuff, if you home make it, that's different, of course, but pre-made microwavable ones, turn out very runny, which is very wet, kind of soupy, if you will. These ones do not. These have the same consistency as a mashed potato, a well-whipped mashed potato, or even an instant mashed potato. It's not runny at all, stays thick. It is a bit smaller of a package than some of the other ones I've seen, but of course it's also half the price of a lot of the more expensive ones. So I find it incredibly worth it. So again, Bird's Eye mashed cauliflower. This one is the sour cream and chives. They have a couple different flavors, but this one was my favorite that I've tried. So to let you know, there's about 3 servings in a container. Per serving, you're looking at 6 grams of fat, 8 grams of carbs, and 3 grams of protein. So while it doesn't bring a ton of protein to the table, it also does not bring a ton of carbs. So it's a great side dish to put next to your protein. So if you're having a steak, you know, you're having a roast beef or something like that, everybody else is wanting mashed potatoes, this can give you that same type of flavor, that same type of feel, without all the unhealthiness of actual mashed potatoes. So again, this is Bird's Eye. I've tried several products from these folks, and I've enjoyed every one that I've tried so far. So I'm excited to see what else they've got out there. I saw some more stuff that I haven't tried yet. I'm going to look into those here over the next few weeks as well. But highly recommend these. Again, I get my groceries at Kroger. I've not checked what other grocery stores carry them yet. If you don't have a Kroger in your area, you may want to check their website. And most products at this point will list the different stores that they sell in. So definitely check those out. I found them incredibly tasty. So the next thing I'm going to kind of talk about real quick is just going to be one of the Christmas presents that I received from my wife and mother-in-law this year. And this is something I've been wanting for a while because it is going to open up a whole new door of bariatric recipes for me. I already have cookbooks based on this specifically, but what I received was an air fryer. This is the Dash brand air fryer. So, air fryer. What is an air fryer? Air fryer works just kind of like a deep fryer, but it uses minimal amount of oil and basically hot air to give you kind of the same thing that a grease fryer would do. So you're getting to fry food in a much healthier way. You're not dipping it in grease and such. So I have not had any air fried food yet, so I'm not going to sit here and say that it has the exact same texture and flavor as something that's fried in grease. But at this point, I don't care. This just opens up a lot of different ideas. I have a cookbook of just air fryer recipes. I have several Asian food recipes that use an air fryer as well. So I'm really excited to start using that. It'll probably be a week or two because over the next week, things are going to be a little hectic here. My wife is going into the hospital for a week of testing and such for some medical stuff she has going on. So that's going to keep us kind of busy. I'm still going to have a video next week as normal, but it may be a bit shorter just because of time constraints. But this air fryer, again, and I will do a bit more in-depth review on this fryer and how well it works out and such, and I'm definitely going to do at least one cooking video using it. But that opens up a lot of opportunity for some new types of food I've not tried yet. So I'm very excited to kind of share that with you and see how that stuff turns out. I've been wanting one for a while. The other thing that I received, also going to be very helpful for me, I got an electric wok. Again, something that I've been wanting for a while. The electric wok, this is the Presto brand, stainless steel one. I do quite a bit of stuff in frying pans and such at this point. In fact, tonight I'm having some folks over to the house and I'm going to be making basically like a Philly cheesesteak stir fry. Onions, green peppers, red peppers, shredded roast beef, prime cut, and mozzarella cheese, low-fat mozzarella cheese. And the frying pans and skillets that I've had are a little hard to contain it all, especially when I'm cooking for a larger group of people. So this bad boy here is going to make that way easier. It'll also let me cook down. Like I said, I don't have to be up in the kitchen. I can plug it in and even cook it down here where I usually entertain in my basement, my man cave, where all my stuff is. I still need to give you guys a tour of that. But that's another exciting thing I've been wanting for a while. So those two things between them open up a lot of opportunities for me to introduce some new recipes in. And I'm definitely going to start sharing more recipes here in the future. I find as I'm getting closer to my goal weight, I'm getting to what could very well be considered by most to be the end of this process. I don't view it as that because it's a lifetime of maintaining at that point. Things may change, but I'm always going to be having some form of limitation and guidelines to live by there. As I get to that point and I'm not losing weight anymore, may have less things like that to talk about with you folks. And I'd like to be able to still check in and do videos and kind of continue with this whole process. So putting in more recipes, more product reviews, things like that are something I'm looking to incorporate more into these videos as we get near the end of the actual weight loss part of this process. Things you can use to help maintain. I see a lot of posts on the different support groups I'm in. Hey, it's 2 years out, I'm 3 years out. I find I'm gaining weight back. This has changed. What can I do to get back on track? And I don't want to find myself in that spot. So you guys motivate me to stay on track. And hopefully I can maybe help motivate you the same way. And if I can provide delicious experiences and recipes for all of us to stay where we want to be, I definitely want to do that. So that's the stuff I've got to kind of talk about today. Again, I have a bariatric cookbook that I have as my bariatric product of the month on my website this week. Affordable, not real expensive. It has a lot of great recipes for the different phases of the diet. So definitely check that out on my website, www.onlydraven.com. And I want to say thank you again, everyone who's been with me here all through 2017, even the folks who've just recently joined up. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like the video, and that way I know you liked the video. And subscribe so you can see all my other videos as they come out. I try to put out at least one a week. So thank you again very much for tuning in, and I hope you all have a wonderful new year, and I hope you had a great Christmas holiday season. and I look forward to seeing you in 2018. Have a good year.